So guys, I just closed the shop. It is exactly 12 a.m. So I guess it would be Tuesday morning now. I am about to light up an Illusione Grande Rex. We just got a couple more bundles in. The price point on this cigar is $6, which is a great price. The price for a bundle is $130. I have smoked a ton of cigars today, which I normally don't smoke that many because I don't like to mess with my palate, but it's been a cigar smoking day. I started out with a Jossum Crawl, I think it's from Rudy's shop in Indiana. And then I went on to, what did I have? Then I smoked a La Creme by Crowned Heads on the way into the shop. Well, I had to go, first I started out, anyway, it's a long story. So on my way back into the shop, then at the shop, I smoked a La Polina. Gosh, I smoked something else. Anyway, I'm gonna light this cigar up, go through a drive-thru and get a Diet Coke so I can stay awake on my drive home. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna be lighting up the Illusione Le Grande Classe Rex. It is made out of Nicaragua. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano. Binder and filler are Nicaraguan, and it is made out of Casa Fernandez. So it is a shorter cigar, I'd say about a Corona size, and we sell out of these as soon as they get in. They're super tasty. So now it's 12:40 and I am like halfway through my cigar. I just got home. And okay, so this is so funny. Oh, well, by the way, as I have mentioned before, I'm not the best at describing cigars. I would say this is a medium-bodied. It's flavorful. It has some sweet notes. It's very flavorful. It's very good for the price. Like, wow, $6? Can't beat it. But this is so random, so embarrassing. So we live really far from the shop, and so I listen to podcasts on the way home, and I'm listening to this podcast, and they are talking about their childhood crushes on the podcast. So they bring up, one of the girls brings up that she had a crush on Justin Timberlake and Lance Bass from NSYNC. And the girl on the podcast, she was at a party and that was thrown by Lance Bass, and she was like super nervous to meet him and all this stuff. And he came up to her and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan." And she was like, "What? I'm a big fan of you." And she pulls out a picture of her room as a teenager, and she had like NSYNC posters all over her room. And then they kind of started talking about crushes they had. And it was so funny because when I was, a teen, I had the biggest crush on Lance Bass from NSYNC. I loved him. Oh my gosh, loved him. I knew all the NSYNC songs. I liked Backstreet Boys, but NSYNC was it. And Lance Bass was my favorite out of the whole group. And I remember when he was on Seventh Heaven, and Seventh Heaven was always on Monday nights at 7. And I remember just being like so excited, like he is on Seventh Heaven. And I remember putting my VCR so that it would record, and it was like such a big deal. And anyway, just like the silly memories. So the guy on the podcast brings up that he had a big crush on Tiffany Amber Thiessen. And a couple of the girls that were also, you know, chatting on the podcast were like, who? And I'm like, how do you not know Saved by the Bell? And I'm like talking to the podcast people, and I'm like, they're not even in the car with me. This is how sad my life has become. I'm like talking to fake people, and I'm all by myself. Or not fake, they're real, but they're not with me. And he's like, you know, from Saved by the Bell. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I loved, you know, Zach Morris. What was his name in real life? And AC Slater, who is Mario Lopez. Well, Mario Lopez smokes cigars, and I follow him on Instagram. Well, one day I had left a comment on his Instagram, and he liked it. And the first thing I said, I was like freaking out. And I was like, oh my gosh, AC Slater liked my comment, like total fangirl, brought me back to being 9 years old, 10, 12, you know, watching Saved by the Bell and freaking out and being like a kid again. But why I'm bringing this up, this is the silliest thing, but it's fun for some reason after you've had a long day of work and stress of life and just kind of remembering, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna think I'm such an idiot. Okay, just kind of like remembering, oh my gosh, why can I not talk? Okay, just like the carelessness, like when you're young and you have these silly celebrity crushes, and it's like, it's so fun because you don't understand relationships, and you just have all these ideas in your head, like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get married one day and life's gonna be perfect and this happy ending. So you're able to have like these fun crushes, like these dreams, like the perfect husband and all these fun silly stuff. Like when you're young, you have those, so sometimes it's fun to just like be back into like that giddy teen state, and it's more just the memories of you and like your girlfriends or your little group, and like just being a giddy kid again. And going from being a kid to an adult, it's like you miss those fun, exciting times, like when you're just, you don't know what's wrong with the world. But anyway, I was thinking, oh my gosh, like they were talking about other, different crushes they had, and I'm like, okay, I was totally like, I remember New Kids on the Block and loving Donnie. Oh my gosh, I love Donnie. And then it, the silly stuff like dancing to Debbie Gibson and just being so free, and Madonna, and all these fun memories as a child. I remember in junior high, we were all obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And, just like these fun feelings like, who am I going to marry one day? And what's my life going to be like? And you have the world like just so open ahead of you, and all these dreams and aspirations. And as a kid, it's just so exciting to kind of have those dreams. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of posters. I remember the biggest poster that I had in my room was the Romeo and Juliet poster. I loved Claire Danes and I loved Leonardo DiCaprio. Another big person, somebody I really loved was Matt Damon. And so I want to know, like, who were your celebrity crushes as a kid, and who did you really love? I remember my mom telling me she loved the Monkees. And my dad, it wasn't really like a crush, but my dad, his group was the Beatles. Like everybody had like the era and who they admired. And, as a kid, when you had like, you were free and life wasn't weighing on your shoulders and you were giddy and life was so much fun. Anthony we joke about stuff like that. So, and his big crush was Jennifer Love Hewitt, like just super in love with her. It's just fun to remember like those memories, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what, I remember when my daughter was younger, before like Justin Bieber got kind of weird and her being like, Justin Bieber, but now it's like I wonder what like I'm kind of disconnected, you know, with who is in now and all that stuff. But just curious, like, who is like the big crush back in your day, and what kind of brings you back to your childhood memories and makes you go back to a happy place of fun and just a silly and a better time. I'm really enjoying the cigar. I'm gonna go in because it's almost 1 a.m. and I need to get some sleep, finish some laundry, get the kids' lunches packed for tomorrow so that we have a successful day tomorrow. I hope you guys all have a good evening, and I highly recommend you trying the Grande Classe, is it Classe? Rex by Illusione Cigars. They make great cigars. This one is so good. The price point, you cannot go wrong. Another great one, well, there's so many good cigars by Illusione. Ugh, I can't even tell you all my favorites, but I like the Rothschild, another great price point, and I love the Illusione 33. So comment below, tell me who was your celebrity crush, and if you have a favorite Illusione cigar. I will talk to you later. Bye.